Sawadika, long time no see. I was getting research a bit, and I think now I procrastinate a bit that I have to announce a space mission very shortly, and it's better to spend my energy on something different, like talking to you on the paradox of growth. Because during my morning journaling, so I've been reflecting a lot on that recently. I wrote an article about it on my blog, you can read it, and I wanted to make a video about it too because I think it's very interesting and it's important maybe to be aware. So I have noise cancellation, but I think there's construction going on. I'm sorry. Anyway, why? So oftentimes it's a little paradox. We do not grow because of uncertainty, so it's actually scary for us because we don't really know how our life might change, and that's why we sabotage our growth, because we're scared of experiencing this uncertainty, anxiety, or maybe there are certain things happening which you don't want because you're afraid. And so it's very interconnected with some other areas, like you don't want to lose your friends, you're scared of judgment, you're scared of jealousy, and to bear these emotions of other people. You're scared you will start offending people, you will, and to bear that, to face that, to tell no to a lot of things and to a lot of people. And it's just easier at a certain degree actually to sabotage own growth just because of the fear of these emotions and the fear of experiencing these things. And you will most likely get to the point where you cut off most of your people, and then we are naturally, it's like our instinct, so you're scared obviously that you will be left alone, and so you don't want to experience this thing. And the thing is that when we create emptiness, when we create space in our life, so nothing is guaranteed. It's the same like building relationships based on love and not any kind of manipulation or some kind of whatever emotional swings and driving curiosity through unavailability and all these things. So being transparent and being loving and honest about how we feel and what we want to do. The same thing, like it's not guaranteed. And so yeah, when we create space, when we reduce things in our lives, when you create this emptiness, imagine like when you take the step from you're standing here and you take this one step, you have to go into the air, and but it was as if it was not guaranteed that you will step back on the ground. So I think this is how it feels. It's terrible, but it's awesome at the same time. So I think that the more we can actually bear this emotional load, which is this fear as well of ours, the more we are able to create this emptiness in our lives, and the more we can actually grow. So I believe it's very interconnected, because unconsciously otherwise we will sabotage our own growth. So I haven't really got it, and now this is my perception that one might not grow or get some reach or so on, and will unconsciously do such steps that will stand literally in our way, because we're scared, I don't know, to bear certain amount of attention and so on. So to me it doesn't really matter, like I'm very used to being public at a certain point, and I don't have these problems right. But now I've been working more on like this capacity to bear more emotional state of mind or the emotions of others, and creating more emptiness and clarity in my life. So I brought self-awareness to different areas and to really understand what I have there, be it my health, with my surroundings and so on. So I mean, this is a continuous process, and I've been working on this for a couple of years actually. But now I got even more clarity. So like, there might be friendships, which like you're surrounded by people out of habit, and I was like, I don't want to be these people, so I really cut ties with a lot of people. I did this sort of check, like a significant one, twice or 3 times this year. I would say 3 times because recently I was so tired. I was in Dubai. I took a weekend off, and on Monday I woke up, and the first thing I started was just like, I opened the conversations in my apps, which were so many of them, and I had so many unread messages, and I was like, do I want to be in touch with the person or not? And so first thing I just texted like, thank you, I'm not interested in being in touch anymore. And I just went like this, and I just closed the conversations with a lot of people. Have I made some mistakes? I don't know. I think that I'm listening to myself, and I trust myself. It's very important. So this belief into own mind, into own decision making and stuff. I reopened the doors for 2 people. So like I closed the relationship this year with 2 people, and I reopened the doors. I was like, okay, I want to try to be in touch and see. But actually just going even internally into this conflict and understanding that, just like clarifying things, either the things fall apart which were meant to fall apart, or they will get closer. And so I went into conflict with a lot of people this year, and it drew me some better, stronger, closer connections. Or contrarily, things fell apart, and it was right. I was glad. Like, it's freeing for me to face honesty. It's freeing to me to face truth. So the more truth the relationships of mine, the more truth and transparent is my work, my responsibilities, just everything, the relationships at work, the freer I am actually. The freer I feel, because there's this clarity, and all this unclarified stuff, it actually takes a lot of resource, a lot of energy, and so I want that to be done. Maybe this is a better lighting. I don't know. Okay, whatever. So there's paradox of growth, and it is. You can read that article about it, it's the same, but this is more profound because I've been thinking about it for longer. So we want to increase our value, our worth, our knowledge, our health, our beauty, whatever, in order to have a higher status in society, right? So like, just from super animal perspective, you want to be on the top. Then when you are on the top, you're interested into much less things. You can tell I'm not on the top. I'm not rich, whatever. But yeah, I've been working on myself, and I have I value my mind, and I value my worth. And I've been working on my capacity for relationships and other things, and I can see I truly value all this effort. And now I don't like comparison. I don't like judgment in general. I like this sort of Eastern philosophy. Or maybe in my case, it's more like I aim to introspect, like to understand who I am, and accept myself and see myself, my worth, my value, whatever. And the more I see other people for who they are and not for like in comparison, but in a way like, oh, this person has this kind of quality. But here I would still say that I got to a certain level of comparison which was beneficial for me, and it was I left my home in Georgia, I traveled, and now I saw myself, say, on the dating market in some of the best places, the most competitive places, you would say, like in Dubai, where I might not be the most beautiful girl in the room. And I actually realized I don't care. It's awesome. So first, I don't want to be judged just because of my beauty. Second, I understand my value, that it is not in just like being beautiful, despite I spend some time on it and it's important to me and I want to be beautiful and young for a long time in my life. But I have brains. I have some other things to offer. I'm more genuinely kind and loving and all these things. And so like actually through comparison I understood more my worth, my value, and that made me understand how much one actually stands out. I understood, I would say, my own authentic self and my own uniqueness. And understanding this in the context of the word, like what is your own, I mean, at the end of the day, we're all just humans and we're all just like better monkeys. But I understand my unique monkey self, which is of a high value to me. And then I cannot face, I cannot experience jealousy towards someone else because I understand that it's not my story, period. So like, yesterday I talked to one guy's gentleman and he said like, why am I me? And yeah, just like understand all this kind of concept of like being oneself and self-identification, well, that's part of our development. It's very important. It's pretty rare though, but yeah, I think it's more common in the individualistic societies, but then the question is whether one has also the capacity for intimacy, for closer relationships. Anyway, so yeah, how to use comparison in order to not to feel bad. Well, I think this was the thing, to understand own value truly, and then to compare oneself and understand own uniqueness on the global scale. And so yeah, why I mentioned this, because I've never thought of myself being somewhat outstanding, and now in the context of the reality of the current world, in the context of what projects are being done here, I attended some sort of cutting edge conferences and gatherings and met some pretty outstanding people in the last weeks, and I understood that what I do and work at and the way I think, the way I see the world is actually it's not common, well, I would say. And I started treasuring it, not seeing it as a problem, because a lot of people, I mean the normal kind of people, saw it as a problem, and for a long time to me to be around such people, it was destructive. And so I cleared out my circles a lot, and I cleared out what kind of people I'm around. And so I prefer to be alone. I prefer solitude or exceptional people and nothing in between. And here we go to the paradoxes. So the reality is I cannot settle for anything in between. I cannot even have some regular conversation with nothing in between, with something in between, because it tears me down, and so it's destructive for me. But I care for self-preservation and self-prolonging, be it my mind or physically someday. And so the paradox is that, yeah, in theory, I have access to much more people. The more beautiful I become, the more I can notice. I enter the room, I enter some beautiful place, whatever, and I can notice. I could technically be with any of the guys, or not be, but like I feel in control from this perspective. But actually, I'm not interested into most of the people. So like, the paradox is you grow and you technically have the opportunities, but at the same time, at first I got a feeling of sadness, which was I'm so uninterested. And I was like, no, it's not ungratefulness. It's actually just understanding on value and daring to filter out, to say no to most things. And this is the second thing, and it is the demand for my decision making, and therefore the decision fatigue became so high, because I feel I spend most of my day just telling no to most things, just to blocking people, just to offending someone, just to cut off connections, just to close conversations, to make decisions. Why? Because in the long term, it's not sustainable. You have to make decisions in order to drive yourself where you want to be. And yesterday I just ran out of my decision capacity at like 11 in the morning, and I was suffering for the rest of the day, because you enter Starbucks and they're like, do you want grande or tall coffee, decaf, whatever? And I was like, I don't know. Can you decide that for me? I have no clue. Because you start calculating what is actually what you want. You start introspecting, but you can't. It's really hard. And then the more I started treasuring men, capable men, for providing certain things, because like you went and you chose some awesome restaurant, what we do together or something. Well, I really appreciate, and you book it and you get me a cab there, and I don't have to think about all these things, just like getting a cab. So I don't have to think, where do I go, how do I get there, to order some taxi, which type of taxi you want. I'm like, I just can't do it. Like mentally, the capacity is like done. I just can't do it. Like in the evening, to me, that's such an emotional drag. It like totally squeezed me. And the same, I am more aware of my emotional capacity, so I cannot invest myself into many conversations actually. And so I really choose who are those people I want to text to, who are those people I want to spend my time with. Even like supporting conversation, like how are you, I just don't do it, period. Don't text me how am I doing. No, like just I can't do it. Like in the past I might be like something, now I text like, may I help you, or I block the person. You can say, and I was told that I literally, so I cut myself off from this small talk, all this normal human interaction, part of the human interaction. It's true, but it's very important for me to do this, because so the conversation with most of my closer people looks like sending this bird, because it's like letters. And so I sit in peacefulness in the morning, in the evening, twice a day, and I see the conversations and I reply to 2-3 people online, and in the evening to another 2-3 people, and it looks like a letter. And I assume the same. So the first, another thing, I don't want to spend my time online. I don't want to spend my time or engage the online conversation, because it's of a value to me to be in touch with certain people. But then I prefer to spend my time offline, to spend my time in the real world, to see the real world, to be more in the present. And so I don't want to engage in these kind of conversation. Yeah. That's actually a lot about all this awareness. So like, how do I want to spend my time? Where do I want to direct my awareness? Where do I want to direct my focus? And therefore energy. So like any kind of, I'm reading Jung now. It's so good. Anyway, so the energy has to flow, right? So if I stop spending my energy on the social media, I will direct it somewhere else. And oftentimes what we do in order to avoid this hard emotions like anxiety or some stress or something, so we unconsciously, consciously, whatever, we direct this attention, this energy somewhere else. So now I did the same. You can say it's procrastination, you can call it any names, it doesn't matter. But like, so it's of an higher importance to me to avoid this unpleasant emotions of potential high awareness, a lot of noise, blah blah blah, a lot of work, a lot of stress, and therefore I rather choose to spend part of my resources on making this video instead of doing the thing. And it's a normal like defense mechanism. It's like, it's here for a certain reason. So yeah, it's good to distinguish these things too. Why do we do what we do, right? And what do we have in our lives? And it's very easy. There are a lot of like common current society, current time noise, which take away our attention. I don't know, social media, whatever, you know. So first I entered Facebook and I was like just muting people and muting stories, and then I was like, why, what value does this app bring to me? Oh, like that I find out new things about my friends, or maybe I will better text them directly when I'll be interested once a week or something. And I just deleted the app. I was like, after 5 minutes of muting whom I'm not interested into, I was like, I'll delete it. Period. Solved. Like, actually problem solved. The same Tinder. I deleted Tinder. And I wanted to increase, I thought it's a good way to increase the odds to meeting my potential partner. I met all the interesting men at the events or through work. And I realized that if I invest this emotional capacity to my work, to my self-actualization, I will do a way better job than spending it on Tinder. First, I really don't like to be online. So to me, I had to schedule in the calendar slots so that I was online, and I tried to optimize it anyway the most I could. So I had like copy-pasted questions and some answers. And I was very direct, and I filtered out people very, very fast and so on. I even paid it, okay? So I had there some 10,000 likes a month, and it's a lot. So even just going through this, it's like a lot of effort, again, a lot of decisions I have to make. And I've met one gentleman actually who was good, but he's also a busy entrepreneur who doesn't really go anywhere. So I could not meet him in real life, that's true. But yeah, it's I read Sapolsky, Monkey Love, and there there was a story on maybe, and how dopamine actually keeps us hype because of this maybe. It's not for the reward, it's actually for this maybe. Then maybe there will be a reward. So the highest dopamine hit is we get when we are like, maybe this time I will win the lottery, and not when we actually win. And I was like, I'm hooked on this app for this maybe. I don't want it. I don't want it. And I deleted it. You say I'm crazy. I met some awesome men. Like, I mean, there are so many awesome men. I decided I don't want to rush it. I will take my time. I don't care. I mean, I'm super sure I will meet and I will be with an awesome man one day. I take my time. If I start some relationship in the next, I don't know, 6-8 months, it will be fine. I would love to have closeness, but making sure I'm intentional about it and I choose a good man is more important to me than than solving it tomorrow. I don't need it. So yeah, and that's another thing. So it's another paradox. I am so uninterested into most men. I'm so uninterested. Yeah, and I don't do meetings. Yeah, that's another thing. So imagine I get how many offers to meet in person a day. I cannot physically do it, right? Like, even if I'm in the same location, say. But the more, like, trust me, I used to think, like, so how do I figure out when someone is like this? When I'm like, wow. Right away. So the more people I meet, and now I meet hundreds of new people every month. It's very good because it helped me to quickly identify relevant and irrelevant people and filter them out. And I dare, because I know there's this amount of new people, I dare to tell, like, you waste my time. I'm not interested into the conversation. I don't think that we have some perspective together, whatever. And I just do it right away. It's terrible. It's so terrifying. But actually it's awesome because honestly I just don't waste my time on other people, and that's it. It's very important. But it's hard. It's so hard. But I do it. Yeah. I became, people think I'm friendly. I am, well, I am. But you have to get there so that I was friendly. But I wish someone told me all this, like, years ago. So I share this, and at the same time I share it because I feel I wish to be understood. The harder it is, I mean, or not. Like, I just surrounded myself with all these, like, super exceptional, super awesome people, and I feel so understood and accepted. It's beautiful. I just have, it's not, I feel like I built lifelong relationships from day zero and day one, and it's today, which is so frightening. I feel it's right because my current surroundings truly reflect me, and I go long term. I surround myself with kind of people I would like to see myself around in, say, 20 years, right? You seek these people. I think it's hard. It's a low probability that these kind of people were in our district when we were little and we were assigned to the kindergarten per district. I choose people by values. Yeah, it's very frightening. This one is longer today. Okay, I think it's a wrap. I hope that you enjoyed my perspective. I hope that it made you reflect, and hopefully it made you daring certain new things. Yeah, I feel I'm tired. I will take holidays next week. It's very hard for me to formulate certain things, and yeah, but it's been so demanding last months. But yeah, so that's it. Take care wherever you are, and choose yourself, and yeah, just just live life, man. It's so awesome. Okay, one more note. Like, okay, exceptional people. I treasure aliveness, and you can feel it. You can feel right away in this, you know, set in life. Just the person wanting to wake up, just doing something they're passionate. You can feel the passion. You can feel the passion for life. You can feel the passion for everything. And the curiosity, you can find it out right away. And it's very attractive. So, yeah, that's it. It's very, you can find it. You can find it out right away. There are a few such people, but yeah. But it's what is attractive to me. You will maybe find attractive something else, like when someone is very calm. I had a sea level. I have a sea level community in Georgia, and I met one girl who she's a psychologist. She's very peaceful. She's very calm. But yeah, I mean, she can get angry and stuff. But she's very interesting person, and we were hanging out together. And yeah, you may. She's a very different woman from whom I am. I'm very direct, actually. You know, like at work, but even normally, I treasure honesty more and more. And that's another paradox. You may say I am a dream girl for a lot of men. Actually, yes, but no. So the reality check, like if you put me hypothetically into a relationship with 100,000 men, most of them will not be. It will not work out. So first, it's terrible, actually. But like even some pretty well-positioned people, but people who are not very enough self-aware, who do not understand themselves much, who are not self-esteemed much and stuff, it will not work out because they will start tearing me down. And here I understood just through the reality check of experiencing certain things that there are a few people who want you to win, and again, like, so I believe a man should be first, and then I can feel how a lot of men see me actually as a role model for them because of courage, for example, and that's awesome, but it's not awesome. So I need someone who's daring, who's like, just like super exceptional, and who's first, who's about me. Yeah, you may doubt yourself sometimes. Oh my gosh, I will provide you so much support. I will provide you so much trust, belief into yourself if I will feel it. It's very conditional, and that's another thing. So like, I believe that the sort of desire of a woman is, I want to surrender, and I want to be whatever, not like weak, childish, but I want to ease up. I want to, yeah, as a woman. And then there's an exceptional kind of feeling in connection with a strong man who is capable and whom I might trust too. And that's very unique. And the problem is, you cannot fake it, and I cannot fake it for myself. I cannot tell like, wow, you're so, I don't know, anything, like strong, exceptional, wise. If I don't feel it, right? And then there are very few people who are like that. Very, very few. And so yeah, that's a paradox, because I am actually not interested into majority of the men, and majority of the men actually would not be interested into being with me in reality. because there would be not this polarity, there would be a disbalance. It's terrible. It's a paradox. Okay, my time's up. I really have to go. Take care. I hope it was interesting to you. Cheers.